guys. So, as promised, going off of the vote that we had on Facebook, today we're going to do Monkey Wrench by the Foo Fighters. Classic Foo song, I think everyone knows it. So, we'll have a look into it and we'll get into trying to figure this one out for you. But before we do, as always, I will always say, don't forget to give me a cheeky like and a cheeky subscribe. We are growing quite a big community now, and I really appreciate the support. I didn't think this would actually take off to the point that it has done, but I'm so appreciative of everyone that's following this journey that I'm on, trying to teach you guys as well along with myself, I guess. But for now, thank you again. But let's zoom in, get tuned up, and let's learn this song. Okay, so Monkey Wrench by the Foo Fighters. We need to be tuned down to what is probably my most used and most favourite tuning, drop D. So you take your standard tuning, obviously from your low E string up here, number 6, which would usually be E, A, D, G, B, E. You need to take that low string up here and just take it down to D. Rest of the strings stay the same, but it just gives you that sort of that bassy rock note that we all know. Okay, so when we're starting off on this, Dave's obviously doing his mad sort of solo piece, I guess we can call it. He does tend to play it live across the first three strings, sorry. So 1, 2, and 3 here. So he's fretting the 3rd string just up here at the 11th fret to start with. Okay, but when he's playing live, you know, Dave has a tendency to go a bit mad, and he'll be hitting all 3 of those low strings. So you get that sort of noise coming out. But for the purpose of this lesson, we will just focus on playing the string that he's actually fretting, okay? So it will be sounding something like this. Okay, and he does that twice the way through. So what you're doing there is you're starting on the 11th fret up here, okay, on your 3rd string. That's 3rd from the point just down here, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. And you're playing each note twice. Okay, so we're going 11, down to 9, down to 8, down to 7. Then back up to the 9. 8, 7, and then down to 4. Okay, so you'll have this. And then we're coming back up to number 6, 4, and then down to 1, back to 4, 6, 4. Then you hit 6 once, and you're gonna wanna bend the string. Okay, now when you're bending a string, try not to just use your finger. Okay, it's coming from the wrist, so you're turning your wrist like this to push that string up. You can see the string going up there. Okay, and you'll have this sort of note. You need to go up and hold it, and then bring it back down. Okay. Okay, so you'll have this all the way through. And you just repeat that back through, okay, to get the twice for that opening sort of section that Dave's doing. Now, for the rest of the lesson, I'll try to focus more on the rhythm sections, the Pat Smear side of things, as opposed to Dave. The only sort of changes between the two, Pat is playing over Dave's initial sort of solo that we've just done there, which he repeats, I think it's 3 times, midway through and then on the outro as well. So when we get into the song, we obviously have that long pause that he does from that sort of opening section, and then we get into it sounding something like this. Okay, so that is really simple, but it does involve quite some sort of fast palm muting. Now, palm muting, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to sort of really get the speed of this, and even now I still tend to get sort of a tired wrist with it, but it just takes practice. The trick to sort of the speed of the palm muting is just to make sure that your right arm, your fretting arm, is constantly relaxed. You don't want any tension going from your shoulder down your arm and into your wrist. Okay, you just need to be nice and relaxed. I know it sounds daft, and I know when you're playing it can be quite hard to keep that fretting hand, fretting arm nice and relaxed. But if you just focus on it, it will happen. Your playing will speed up, I should say. But for that main verse, okay, we're doing a power chord off of the 2nd fret on the 5th string. So your first finger, okay, 2nd fret, 5th string. And then again, as I always try to teach, you can either use your ring finger to cover strings 4 and 3, just down here, or you can use your ring and your pinky, dependent on what feels most comfortable. That's the ring and the pinky position there for you, or how I tend to play it, like this. Okay, whichever feels most comfortable. But you're just, to start off with, you're hitting that once, and then you're muting. Just a reminder for palm muting, fleshy side of your palm, down near your bridge, just here. Okay, just along here. Okay, just lightly over the top to get that. Okay, that muted popping sound. So we're playing that power chord once, and then we're muting. All right, and then we come up. Use your middle finger if it feels right, or however you want to play it. I tend to move with my middle. It's a lot easier. But you're coming up to the 4th fret and just barring those sort of lowest 3 strings. Okay, and you're still keeping that palm mute on. So you'll then have this. So we've got this so far. You're hitting that 4 times, okay? And then down to 2 with your first finger. Okay, so when we're on the 2, you're chugging with your palm mute. And then we go open. So no finger on your frets, okay? And just hit those top 3 strings. Then your first finger down on those low 3 strings again. Open. Down again. Open again. And then you're coming back to that power chord you started on. Okay, so you'll have this. Okay, and he just repeats it again. So you're just doing the mutes again. Okay. Okay, so then we're going into the bridge before the chorus that you can hear there, okay? So you're just sort of, again, before he rolls into it, it's just that power chord again, on the mutes. 4. And as we're going into that bridge section, you just want to start to lift your palm mute off on that too, okay? Just to get the notes start to ring out. So again, we're doing the open to, open to, open, okay? So we all know the tune, but to follow it through for the bridge, okay? Open, close on the 2, open again. Okay, so we go. And then we come back down, okay? So we're into the chorus now. Back down onto that 2nd fret power chord, okay, that we went over for the initial verse. Okay, so we're hitting that second fret power chord 4 times, as you can hear there. And then you want to bar your 6th fret, okay? With your middle finger, if you can help it, across those low 3 strings. Take it down to the 4th fret. And then down to the 2nd. 2, 2, and then back to that 4th fret power chord. Sorry, change to the 3rd fret power chord, I should say. Okay, so we have something that will sound like this. Sorry. Okay, and then we goes back into a sort of bridge section before the verse. Okay, now Pat tends to play. Obviously, you'll hear Dave in the background doing his whole solo thing again. You know, that whole solo thing. But Pat is in the background doing the sort of rhythm section, which is it's what we've basically just been over in its entirety. But you're sort of drawing out the notes. Sounds something like this. And then we go back into the main verse. Okay, so just on that section for that bridge, all you're doing is just sort of strumming, continuous up and down. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you've got this sort of down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, off of that 2nd fret power chord to start with. Okay, and then you're just moving from that 2nd fret power chord that we've been over up to the 4th and down to the 2nd. Okay, so you've got okay, so it is very simple. Main verse is just that again for the bridge section. You're just going through and you're just continuing that up, down, up, down, up, down, just nicely strumming just those 3 main notes ago. Okay, so again, starting on your 2nd fret power chord, we'll go over it. I'll try to go over it at speed just so you get an idea of the sort of tempo that you need to be going at for it. But it comes sort of like this. Without the bit of a mess up on the end, but yeah, you get the you get the general idea there for the opening, which we went over, the main verse, and that main verse then extends into that bridge section. Okay, and also the chorus has gone over there as well. Now, once we've gone through the verse and the chorus twice, we get to a section which will sound a little something like this. Okay, so for that section, when he's coming into his screamy bit that Dave likes to do, gets the crowd paused when he's playing it live. But so for this section, you are coming up to your 6th fret, okay, and you are barring those low 3 strings again, and you're hitting it twice, okay, and then you're coming down or up, however you want to look at it, but you're going effectively moving your fingers down the string, okay, to form that 7th fret power chord this time. So your 1st finger, 7th fret, of the 5th string, and then the 2 strings directly beneath that, either with your ring again or ring and pinky, whichever you feel most comfortable with, on the 9th fret. And you're just hitting that once, okay? So you'll have this. And then you'll want to move with your middle finger to bar. Okay, barring is probably the easiest way to do this. The 9th fret for those lowest 3 strings. And then down to the 5th to finish up. So you'll have this. One more time, nice and slow, off the 6th. 6, 6, power chord. 9, 5. Okay, and then they move down to between the 4 and the 2 again. So it's just 1 on the 4, barred again on those lowest 3 strings, and then 4 on that 2. Then you're coming back to that 6th fret again, okay, and doing that all over again. Okay, so he plays that a couple of times through, and then there is a sort of a slidey section, okay, and it sort of goes a little bit like this. Okay, so again, it's just that 6 again, off the 6, and again the power chord, 9, on to 5, but this time we're going 4, 2, 2, and then from your 1st fret, just hit it once and slide down your neck. Okay. So it's just 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, and then back onto that 3rd fret power chord, and then the 4th again. Okay, and we're just going back over that that sort of elongated piece that Pat's doing in the background while Dave's doing his whole screamy thing in the background. So. Okay, and then at the end of that we have the whole. Okay, and he's just back into that main riff again, and that is, believe it or not, the entirety of Monkey Wrench. It's really not. It's not the most chord difficult song to do, but it is sort of a pacey song. So when you're doing those mutes, that is probably where you're going to find yourself struggling to keep up a little bit. So try and practice that. Just focus on your strum hand. By this point, you probably figured out your power chords. I'm pretty sure most of you out there can do a 1 finger across 3 strings without much issue. So just practice those power chords, but it's that muting and that strum technique that you need to focus on. Okay, on your right arm, just keep an eye on that. Remember, stay loose, stay relaxed. Otherwise, that tension that you're going to build up is going to slow your playing down. So try and focus on that more than anything. Run through the chords that we've just been over there. Run through the whole thing a few times. Believe me, you'll get it quicker than you know. It's a really good song to learn. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves Dave. It might just be me. I'm biased. I'm a massive Dave Grohl fan, but what can you do? Yeah, have a go. Even send me some comments. Send me some videos over on the Facebook page. Let me see you doing it. Let's see how it all turns out. But as always, we'll come back again next week. I'll probably do another midweek skills lesson as always. And then on Saturday, Sunday next week, I will knock out another song. If you're not over on the Facebook page, join us over there. I'll try and post another vote, a couple of song choices. Let you guys have a pick of what you want me to try and teach you, what you want to try and learn, obviously. And then, yeah, we'll come back, we'll do a lesson, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to, as always, give me a cheeky like and subscribe. Drop a comment, I really don't mind. And we'll come back next week and go again. In the meantime, though, stay safe and take care, guys.